Hey y'all, good morning. Farmer Nicole here. I am out here at Circle C Farm where we are a pasture-raised, grass-fed and grass-finished farm, and what you see behind me this morning is us prepping, well, lots of stuff going on, but us prepping for the moving of the duck fencing. So what do I mean by that? Well, we have about 1,000 laying hen ducks separate from our laying chicken hens, and we have about a 30-acre pasture which we use predominantly for our egg production, and it goes from here all the way down over there. So we use perimeter fencing because ducks lay their eggs at night, hence the reason why in our case, since they're truly outside, you're going to have some staining on those eggs even when we wash them, even when they come to you unwashed by shipping. So that's something for you to know. Tidbit, a fun fact for the day. So what we do is about every 5 to 7 days with the ducks, we will move their perimeter fencing. And by that, what I mean is we'll adjust the posts for the edging, and then we will move the flexi fence, the perimeter fence that's the movable stuff, and we will move that to more grass. So we let them eat it down, and then we will go ahead and move the fencing. So you're hearing the ATV behind me because, hang on, hey Ami! Ami! We're trying to get some other stuff done on one part of the property, and Ami is following Manny on the ATV, and we don't want him in that part of the property. So, all right, so now we've got him away, hopefully. So thank you for the normal farm distractions. So when we move the perimeter fencing for the ducks, we do it in such a way that we allow them that extra grass space. But what we're really trying to do and make sure is that they have fresh grass to move to, but we also want to make sure that they eat down. I'm switching hands to give you different angles. We also want to make sure that they eat down the grasses that are in there, because it defeats the purpose for the way they work their little feet and their beaks as little rototillers, and being able to provide that turnover of the ground, similar to the chickens, a little different, but they're eating those grasses, they're eating the bugs, they're playing in the makeshift pool that they get. Each time we move it, we create a space so that they've got their natural tendencies and they can flutter around in the water, and they can do all those things that they're supposed to. So this is just how we do it. It depends on what kind of setup you have. You could have hard fencing and just rotate them from, let's say, half to half, or 1/3, 1/3, 1/3. Just utilize your space. But the real important piece is you want to make sure that you are providing them with those fresh grasses and ground to work with, eat the bugs, move around on, because that way you don't have a feed over feces issue, meaning they're not eating over their poop, and nobody wants to eat over or eat the poop. So we want to make sure that you keep that in mind. But that's one of the things that one of the reasons why and how we determine how many days they stay on the pasture before we go ahead and move them, or before it necessitates a rotation down the pasture. And with the laying chicken hens, it's a little bit similar, but it's a little different in the sense that they don't have the perimetered space, meaning they don't have a section off for where they are. They're actually completely loose in the pasture. Now, what does that mean? That also means that they're at my house. That also means that they're at the driveway. That means that they're all over everywhere within some distance from the chicken coop space. So I'm walking down a little bit to give you a different angle on that. So here we go for that. So there's our chicken hen house line, and we've got those in a sequence. We've got 6 buildings over there. We have those in a sequence because what we're trying to do with that is, well, a couple things. One is it helps with extra shade protection because we are down here in southern Florida and in the southwest Florida area, but south central too. And we're going to start to crank up to get super duper hot here in the next couple of weeks. We're already pushing the mid to upper 80s, and so we should be in the low 90s probably in the next week or two on a sustained temperature. And so we always want to make sure that the ladies have plenty of shade space and place that they can go and hide and cover, and then do their little dirt spa days and things like that. So we've made sure that we keep enough shade areas for them to come and go during the day and to shift sides depending on the angle of the sun. And then also, because we're going to start to get windy here and we'll move into hurricane season in the next couple of months, we want to really make sure that we have the structures close enough together that we use them to anchor one another, so that way we don't have anything go airborne. And those buildings are pretty doggone heavy to begin with because we use some metal I-beams and things like that. And that's just the proactiveness from learning from previous hurricanes and really just from farming and ag and here in Florida. And I think I've got Ami hopping over. So what you're seeing is actually something I did want to get on video. What we had done with the ditching system around the farm was to create water flow spaces so that the water flowed naturally. One of the added benefits in doing that was that on the other side of the fence, the laying hens were not able to squish through the bottom of the fence through the ag fencing. I think we've got 6x6s on some of those, and there may be 6x6 ag fencing on that. But one of the evenings I saw Ami go running, and he literally ran up, launched himself up onto the mound, and then over the mound to do his guarding. So I thought that was really kind of cool to see, because I hadn't seen that before. And that was an added advantage to the fact that we did the ditching for water flow on the property, which was super great. We just enhanced it and made it so that the flow was clean. And then he used it for leverage or for hopping over the fencing so that he could get into the field that evening when he was guarding. And they found something on the back end of the property on that end of the hens. And then he literally launched himself up went airborne over the fence and went after whatever it was. It was honestly too dark for me to see, but it was really cool because I was able to watch him do what he does, and I wouldn't normally see that because it was in the evening. So that was really an added bonus to doing the ditching up against the fencing, not only to help keep the hens in where they're supposed to be, but also to have him have leverage for guarding. So that was like, yay! So just an extra added fun fact from the farm today. So I just wanted to share some things with you. I hope you have an awesome day. Hang in there, and thank you for being part of the Circle C Farm family. I am Farmer Nicole from Circle C Farm, from our pasture to your plate. EatCircleCfarm.com.